operate the plant. So last but not least, after all of the work, Rita's organizing, Mike's organizing, everything is done. What's left to do? We call it an operational readiness review. So we send a team of inspectors to the plant, verify all the needed modifications are complete. We verify the status of the operator training, the qualifications of the operators, ensure that there were sufficient numbers of operators available to support the restart of the facility. We reviewed completed commercial grade dedication packages. I talked about that in the beginning to make sure that the components would reliably perform those required safety functions. And we looked ahead a little bit. We looked at planned preventive maintenance for the new system. We also watched some surveillance testing. And surveillance testing is when the Honeywell does checks of required valve closures and things to make sure that they're ready to work to restart the plant. And we also performed a walk down of the entire plant, top to bottom, just to look, does everything look like it's ready to be able to restart. So as a result of the independent inspections that we performed, we concluded that Honeywell had completed the needed changes to resume licensed operation. Now, if you can imagine, we've got all these people up in Washington, D.C., we've got a group of people that work for me in Atlanta, and trying to coordinate all the things that we're doing we needed guidance to make sure that we were all going in the right direction. And that guidance was provided by what's called the Honeywell Oversight Panel. And Tony Godey was the chair of that Oversight Panel, and I'm going to turn it back over to Tony now to talk about how they put all of our efforts together to finally come up with the conclusion. Thanks.
So, thank you, Brita. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Jim. You can see that we've got the three legs of our stool constructed. We've done a thorough technical evaluation. We've done a thorough evaluation of emergency preparedness. We've done a thorough evaluation of the inspection of the facility through our independent inspection program. The Honeywell Oversight Panel was chartered by the administrator of NRC Region 2, which Honeywell is a site under our oversight. I was the chairman. We had 5 other members, I believe. We always want to have an odd number because it's important when you have panels. I had a panel one time only had an even number, and when you get 2 and 2, you really have problems. Anyway, so we had an oversight panel. We had 5 members. We monitored the inspection program, the technical evaluation of the facility, the evaluation of the emergency preparedness. We provided guidance on how to adjust that program to make sure that we've covered all the areas we need to cover. We engaged Honeywell management when we needed to engage Honeywell management. We made sure that the communication between Honeywell management and the NRC was open. We engaged Illinois, made sure that the communication between Illinois, the state, the county, and local government was good. We developed very strong working relationships with our local government here and the state government in Illinois. Through this whole process, we have come to learn a lot about emergency preparedness, and we are much better off for that. This facility is, I'm going to say it again, is safe. So we actually went through our decision-making process, which involved having all the stakeholders involved in our technical review, our inspections, our reviews of the emergency preparedness program. We had contractors that did our analysis, independent analysis of the upgrades that the facility did. We received the briefings. We had dialogues about questions and issues. And we came to the conclusion that the facility is adequate to protect public health and safety. And it can be operated in a manner consistent with common sense and security. During that process, Honeywell asked us to allow some partial, some interim operations. And really 15th, I think it was, we did authorize some interim operations. We allowed them to conduct some more preparation activities and allowed them to start up some green salt activities, which are activities in the front end of the process that pose very little risk, and then we had thoroughly inspected. After we went through our decision-making process, we determined that, and when we determined that the facility was ready to restart, we concluded our panel. We drafted a letter. We briefed our management team and our executives and our commission, and concluded that we would issue a letter to authorize Honeywell to commence operations. That letter was issued to Honeywell on July 2nd. So I have three minor corrections. I believe I indicated that Fukushima occurred last spring. It was actually the spring before last spring. I apologize for that. Also, I want to make sure that during the exercise, we really did not have a contaminated or injured individual. It was, the licensee had simulated that, had a dummy that they treated like that. The dummy was actually contaminated and injured. So I wanted to make sure you understood that. And there was one other thing. I can't remember. But there's always one other thing. So before I open up the floor for questions and answers, I was wondering if Mayor Billy would like to have any statements or.
You know, as a mayor of a small town, it's humbling to have the quality of people that we have in this meeting here tonight. I would not be doing my job if I didn't recognize our emergency service director of Metropolis, plus Joe Miller is here, which is the Massac County coordinator. Every good mayor always has either a police officer or a lawyer with him. Our lawyer's busy tonight, so we brought the chief of police. You know, as a past business person in the city of Metropolis, I actually owned a business here for 32 years. Every letter I ever got that had IRS on it, bad feeling. Goes right up your spine. And as I become the mayor, and as a city official and elected official, every letter I got from the EPA, IEMA, or NRC give you the same feeling. But you know, the last couple of years is actually put a different perspective of my job, the quality of people that we have guiding, directing, protecting. A plant the size of Honeywell in the city of Metropolis is many, many good paying jobs. I can't say enough about the management. Larry Smith has done an outstanding job through a trying situation. Our union brothers and sisters in the city of Metropolis have done a good job. We're growing now to a situation where we're all going to be coming together again. And there's not a doubt in my mind that what has happened in the last couple of years is going to make the city of Metropolis and Massac County a better place to live. Tony and his staff, other than just trying to get hold of each other a lot of different times, I'm hard to get hold of on the phone. Jim and Tony are hard to get hold of on the phone. So if everything else doubts, just send an email. You know, we'll get together sometime during that week. And this has all come together because of the cooperation, not only on this side of the river. We have emergency service personnel from the other side of the river in Kentucky that have been a big part of what has gone on here. And if I, you know, I've lived here all my life. You've always heard horror stories about what goes on and this and that and something else. But I personally haven't been involved. I mean, I don't know if it's always been like that, but Tony and his staff has invited me as an elected official to many, many meetings that probably I didn't have a lot of business at. But it did give me the opportunity to know firsthand what NRC was asking of Honeywell, and that put us on the common ground that as a representative of Metropolis, as the questions were asked to me on the street, I could actually say, I know what our NRC is asking of Honeywell. This is what they're doing. And if I've learned one thing through all this is NRC has done a great job here of protecting our livelihood in the city of Metropolis and Massac County. Emergency service has spent many, many man-hours preparing for we hope what never happens. IEMA is our big brother of anything that happens in Illinois. You know, we've had our share of bad experience through the ice storms, tornadoes, floods, and believe me, IEMA will give you that good fuzzy feeling too when you see them drive up in your neighborhood and stuff like that with help on the way. So it has been a trying experience. It's been a humbling experience, but it's been a good experience for everything that's going to come forward in Metropolis and Massac County. I can't thank the organizations for enough. We have one more big obstacle that we've got to challenge now, and this is going to be that political spill that we've all done do. We have a neighboring facility across the river in USEC that, you know, we've got a challenge over there now to make sure that at least part of that 1,000 jobs over there are saved. So, you know, and our representative from the federal government, Senator Kirk, is a great ally of the city of Metropolis, and we're happy to have you all, and thank you very much for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. I'm going to turn this off before I explode. Okay, so, wish I could speak that well. I believe that's the end of our meeting. We presented to us where we were a year ago, how we got from where we are today, how we made our decision, what our conclusions were. What I'd like to do is open up the floor to questions, and the panel will be available to answer those questions. That's the one that should be handed out, and if that's used, I got to turn this off. So I will explode. So let's open up the floor to questions. Don't you ask questions?
I'm just curious. Thank you.
Introduce yourself, please.
Gary Slide. Let me back up. This camera's kind of intimidating. Gary Vanderbilt, I'm the Vice President of Commonwealth Environmental Services. I want to thank Senator Cook's staff for coming in. And we, as the mayor knows, we just recently met with some of the nuclear workers here to kind of follow back on some of the news that we provided to the community with regard to their Part E qualifications under the Energy Employee Occupational Illness Program Act. That's basically what I remember, Mr. Goey, from last time. We sort of started an introduction about 6 or 7 months ago. But I guess what we're trying to, if you all will remember, we're proud that the plant is operating. We're strictly trying to inform, educate people that what you all do is similar to the very same thing, if not identical, to the work that was performed at USEC. And I'm on a board over at USEC, at Paducah Nova, which we're trying to bring the jobs back to Paducah and enhance those jobs in environmental cleanup, which it has not happened here. But you all are familiar with the Fuse Wrap program, and I believe that will, one of these days, that will come down the pipeline for Mr. Smith. So, in our at Honeywell. Now, what we're trying to do is try to educate all of you all, and we had over 100 people in here about 2 months ago. The mayor was with us, and we had Senator Durbin's staff with us. And the workers' comments to Senator Durbin's staff were all about the work performed and the work work performed on behalf of DOE in the past, and is there anybody in the audience for Honeywell that will disagree that you all did work on behalf of Honeywell, or on behalf of the Department of Energy, and even after '93, I think the NRC individual said after '93 it became NRC. Are you all familiar with that? Are you not young enough, I guess? We didn't hear any of the plant comments, but with regard to any of the past operations, are you all familiar with the operations that went on behalf of DOE? If you don't, that's fine. So is there anybody that believes you did? And I want to document there's no hands.
This is an NRC meeting, so
Yeah.
don't turn it into your list.
Well, again, we're here for the safety issues that regarding the plant and the community. And Mr. Cody, I explained to you that if we have the media here, we would like everyone, including Senator Kirk, to understand what we just did about 2 months ago, and where apparently you weren't aware of what the workers' testimonies were that was being done at the plant. So your safety briefing, I would suggest that we'll get together over the next few weeks. But your safety issues that you're talking about, you brought up that the plant only processes natural uranium or ore. And we've got sick workers that have got beryllium disease. And I don't know if y'all are aware of that, but you don't have beryllium unless you're bringing in Russian material or something like that. And understand ConverDyn has an agreement to maybe reprocess some of that spent nuclear fuel. You did have plutonium here, so that's not naturally occurring, I think, Mr. Godey. And so that's all I'm trying to bring. I know there's other workers here that would like to explain to you all what has been going on as with the full knowledge that they're working on behalf of DOE. Now, I didn't see anybody raise their hand, so I'll take that as you didn't work for DOE, correct? And nobody raised their hand, so nobody's admitting that they work on behalf of DOE. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Since everybody knows that Honeywell is not licensed to possess or process plutonium, and there is no plutonium at the site.
Excuse me. I beg to disagree with you, because I was out
Microphone,
there.
introduce yourself.
I'm a Massac resident. My name is Howard Cook. I worked out there at Honeywell. We got greensaw in from a DOE facility, and it had traces of plutonium. What was the other stuff they had?
Neptunium
Neptunium,
and Mauricio.
and it's still out there. So don't stand up there and tell me that you don't have it out there. Because we run it through the system, and there was some of it that was so hot that they put it down there in the KOH building and never did run it. So I disagree with you on that.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Nick meet with you and take your concerns down, and we'll follow up on it. Is that fair?
I have
Is
another
that fair,
question.
sir?
I have another question.
Is that fair that we do that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
But I have another question. I heard that you're going to run HF out of HF car to run to the building, the flooring plant. Is that true?
At the fluorine plant?
Your HF car,
Right now, the facility determined that it was safer to decommission the anhydrous, the HF tanks on the plant. It would have cost too much to upgrade them, and it was the choice of Honeywell to bring in the rail cars. Because the rail cars are more robust, they're more capable of withstanding seismic events, and it's a safer arrangement.
let me ask you, the venting system, high pressure relief system, I remember we had that on the storage facility. Do we have that on the rail car?
I actually personally don't know, does anybody know if there's a high pressure relief system on the rail cars, and why would it be necessary?
Well, it'd be necessary if the thing overpressure and ruptures this tank. That's why it'd be necessary, that's why we had it on the storage tank out there.
The fire. The fire might be the only thing that would cause that, and the suppression system would put the fire out. Oh, we'll check. I can't envision how you would overpressurize a rail car. They're not filling rail cars.
You have to put pressure on the rail car to move it into the facility. Is that not true? It's not gravity fed. You don't have it up there above the 6th floor. So you have to get it out of the tank and into the system. So you have to pressure it up.
And it's not a vacuum vapor transfer. You're correct.
Okay. So you have to put pressure on that. And you got regulators that regulates the pressure. Those will go bad from time to time. So in case they do, you have to have a venting system. And we had a venting system. We went over to a scrubber system to scrub it for that we would not have a release going out to the community.
And are you working the site right now?
No, I'm retired from out there.
Oh, okay.
I got out before the shit hit the fan. But I do
Don't
remember.
curse in our meeting, please.
Pardon?
Do not curse in our meeting, please.
Well, I tell you, it's my meeting too, isn't it? Or is it
This
just Honeywell meeting? If it's just Honeywell, I can go home.
is a public meeting, and I don't want you to curse in it, please. I'm asking you.
So, yes, I worked at Honeywell. Yes, I unloaded HF. And we done it out of the tank farm, and we had pressure release system. We had a wash system with water to scrub it so that we would have no HF going to the atmosphere. My concern is, if we're going to run out of these tank cars, do we still have the same safety concerns that we had before?
You mean the safety systems?
Safety systems, safety concerns. If you don't have the safety systems, you don't have the safety concerns.
And we concluded that they were safe. And I will have.
Well, you just told me you didn't know if you had any venting system.
I personally don't know, but I know we inspected that, we used the rail car, and we concluded that it was safe. I'll have Nick get together with you to get the details of your concern, and we will get back to it. Okay.
One more question. And from time to time, when you have to evacuate the system, drain salt system, because that's where your HF goes and over to the pouring plant, we would go back from the plant back out to the HF storage tank. Now, are you going to do the same thing with the rail car? Are you going to roll it back to the rail car? How are you going to evacuate the system?
I know. No, I don't know. Nick will get together with you and
Thank you for
take
saying
all your
that.
questions. Okay. Any other challenging questions?
Is the design basis earthquake change as a result of this review?
I'm John Rotobaugh from Purdue.
That's actually a great question. It's a very complicated question. The facility was built in the 50s. Okay? It was built to building codes that really had no seismic requirements. Honeywell did an analysis a while back, I think it was the early 90s, that evaluated the facility and said that the facility was capable of withstanding accelerations associated with about a 500-year return period earthquake. And if you know, the New Madrid earthquake occurs about on a 500-year interval. And their last license renewal, they actually submitted documentation about that return period earthquake. There's no regulatory requirement for this facility to have a design basis earthquake. So they did submit that in there voluntarily in an integrated safety analysis. When we did our inspection in last May, it's that design basis that we actually have. Since then, they have significantly upgraded the structure to withstand accelerations. And the way they did that was they actually analyzed the structure and pushed it to see how it would react, and then modified it to make sure that it would react up to a 1700-year earthquake. And some of the internal structures were designed to a 1300-year earthquake. So I'm actually talking apples and oranges here, right? So I'm saying that some things are designed at 1,300 and the structure is capable of withstanding 1,700. It's actually designed at 475 with a 2.5 times margin for immediate occupancy. So what they did was they actually looked at what the facility could handle. Our analysis and our review relies on the design margin that currently exists at that facility. And the accelerations that that facility can withstand are at least twice what they were before. So a significant increase in the capability of the structure and system. So it's not an easy answer. I mean, any other questions? Okay. If there's no other questions, I'm going to say the meeting's over. So I want to thank everybody for coming. Okay. Nick has been telling me to remind everybody to please fill out your feedback forms. We want to improve our meetings. We want to make them better. So thank you for coming. Thank you for your cooperation. And if you have any questions, we'll hang around and answer them after the meeting. Thank you very much.